B-Bad and Brandon.
What's up, legend?
Boys.
There we go.
On.
So sorry about that.
Nah, that's all right. How are we, lads?
Yeah,
Hey,
good,
we're good,
bro.
bro. Just a little technical
How's my
difficulty.
sound?
Your sound's perfect, bro.
You
Awesome,
look
lads.
perfect too, in case you're wondering, bro.
Oh, that's my man.
I'll give you an 11 out of 10.
That's a very generous man.
Mate, it's just what's needed, bro.
I actually did have a couple of female clients when I was like, yeah, we got Kahn on this week. And they're like, oh, is he the really good looking bloke from Mackay? And I was like,
so dreamy.
yeah, that would be the really good looking bloke. Yeah.
Oh, boys, known far and wide, baby. So, do our best.
Oh dear, mate, it's just that it's the money maker, bro. I like it. You
Our
should
best
put a photo of that on your Zero Weakness t-shirt, my friend.
I don't know if people would buy it out of that or if they would just buy it to be able to poke fun at me that I'm on a t-shirt. Either way, though, I'll sell
Yeah,
the 50
Either way,
bucks.
people buy them, bro.
Yeah, bro. That's how we're going. Trademark. Let's go.
Got to run that business. Got to make that money.
Need that new liquor order, baby.
Yeah, exactly right. That shit ain't cheap.
No.
How many Kahn t-shirts we got to sell to get another Lico barbell?
Oh, if we do it right, probably only 3.
Yeah, exactly right.
Exactly.
We just overprice them. I sign one of them, and then we just set up a
And
production.
wear one. Don't forget to wear one. as
Oh
well.
no, I'm not repping it. I want nothing to do with it apart from that.
Now people will pay more because you've worn it.
Oh, like it's funny though. Like if you people always talk about like the social media stuff, how they get like weird messages from people like buying something.
Yeah.
Man, it is like a bucket list thing for me. Hey,
Yeah.
like I'm not even holding back. Like, you want a soft suit after I've worn it? No problem. Here you go. Like, I have no emotional attachment to that. No matter what I ever hit in it, it's yours, baby, for the right price. $100, bro, it's yours. Let's go,
mate.
Like,
I trained a lad who used to sell his undies.
Yeah.
yeah, right.
Yeah, and made good coin, $100 a pair.
Yeah, see, that's like
That's
that,
easy
like
money.
that's what I want to get into. You know what I mean? Like, if the opportunity arises, it's Kahn _Stephenson. So on Instagram.
Oh man, I'm all for it. Like I've heard stories of people getting off like $400-$500 for their dirty undies. It's like,
Beautiful,
bro. You sell one pair, you go buy a pair from Kmart. Fucking
no, you want to run a premium undie. If I'm buying your undies, I want you wearing some CKs or something.
yeah, but even then, like you still got so much money left over. It's like,
Yeah, a lot of money
I'm
left over.
saving for a house. That's my that's my house deposit right there.
Undie money.
That's going in the account you can't touch.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
100%.
yeah, fuck. But then it becomes a business. You got to claim some GST on that thing, mate. You got to sell them undies with GST.
Cash only, baby.
Keep it in PayPal.
Put it
Keep
in
it
that
in PayPal.
Bitcoin.
Yeah.
There we go. Mate, Mr. Kahn, mate, we are very unofficial in podcasting, but we do have one question that just kicks things off for us. It is the 21 sounds or words, who you are and what you do. You can use sounds, you can do words, but what you cannot do is do more than 21 of them. Are you ready, sir?
Oh, he's professional.
Staying tight.
He is good. He's done this before, and go.
Coach. Hopefully best version of themselves later on. People pleaser to those that are, I'm done, boys. There we go. Unlucky, eh? I knew that was coming too, and I was like on the way here this morning, and I was like, nah, I'm gonna nail this, eh? And then I was like, nah, I'm gonna like sit down, I'm gonna write a little thing out, and then one of the perks of ADHD is that you kind of can just remember a lot of things, but the con of that is that you can remember nothing when it counts. So that's cool. And here we are.
That was still pretty damn good. I love that. That was a good little intro. Fucking hell. I like the point, especially about being the best version of yourself later on. Now, tell me a bit about that. What do you mean later on?
So one of my biggest things that drives me, man, is like a bit of a fear, I guess, of being in the same position in 12 months' time to as what I am now. And that fear isn't necessarily meaning that I'm in a bad place or a place I don't want to be in right now. But it's like the thing of looking back at 12 months time. And it's like what everyone talks about with the 8-year-old you talking to yourself with, be proud of the person you become, right?
Yep.
So for me, it's not a pride thing. It's not an ego thing. It's none of that sort of stuff. For me, it is purely about trying to be the best Kahn Stephenson that I can possibly be. And one day hoping that I know what that looks like. So trying to be the best friend that I can be, trying to be the best coach and gym owner I can to my members, trying to be the best business partner I can to Thomas and Dean, trying to essentially make it so that anyone could come to me for anything and know that they're going to have a voice to be heard, and also without judgment. And they're the kind of things, when I have kids and all that sort of stuff, I want to be able to instill into them. And I think that's really important. And for me, whatever I achieve in powerlifting is just going to be a bonus to that as well.
Do you feel the pressure then of the flip side of that, of always having to be that person for other people? Or do you find that it's just so ingrained you don't know any better?
I think it's because I've come from the opposite of it as well. I've come from the point of where, years ago, this is a long time ago kind of thing, that I wasn't the person I am now. And it's probably not, it's not a shame thing. It's not a pride thing. It's none of that sort of stuff. It's more so related back to, I know what it feels to be able to offer the opposite to people, and making sure that I'm continually offering the product that is what I offer now. And that product is like, and I talk about it as a product because it's something that you buy with the same sort of generosity and kindness back. So for me, for people that go an inch, I go a mile. I try and make sure that I'm able to give people the opportunity to be able to do that sort of stuff and whatever it may be. And I think the sort of dialect of pressure and these sort of things is not so much pressure. I love pressure. I love to be able to feel that I'm working towards something and that I have not necessarily a given timeline, but it needs to get done. And the pressure, I think, for me is I try and, back to powerlifting and stuff again, I try and be the strongest. I try and do all that sort of stuff. And that isn't that's to showcase and try and help all the people that have just started out like I did years, 6-7 years ago in powerlifting, that if you just stick with it long enough, that you're going to get good at it. And that version of good doesn't mean you're going to be a world record holder. That version of good is just going to be a better version of you. And that's from the ladies that are coming in, squatting the bar, to then hitting 100 kilos, or the guy that comes in and can bench more than he could squat, like me at my first comp. So, I think it's, right, I know it's a bit of a long-winded answer, but coming back to all of that, I do feel pressure just like everybody else, but I use it as something to keep me focused and keep me narrow my approach to things, opposed to letting it cripple me.
Love it, bro. Is this something you've always considered and strived to do, or is this something, this philosophy sort of come about recently or somewhat recently for you?
I've always tried. I think I've always had like a certain level of grit, coming from rugby league and playing a decent level of rugby league and stuff like that. I think, and coming back to like I played chess. I still play chess now. I think I've always tried to, whatever I've done, not be an overachiever. I've been really bad at not finishing things over the years, like little things like jigsaw puzzles and shit like that. But then then reaching into other things like unfinished projects that I wanted to launch at this date and these sort of things. And, it's something that's gotten much better as I continue to evolve and continue to try and be this better version of myself. But I think the grit part of it I've always had. I think my father instilled that into me really, really young. And it was, I grew up in a quite a, what would you call it, a demanding household, which then it helped me create the work ethic and everything else I think I have now, and definitely shaped me into having that grit and being able to hopefully put that into other people as well.
100%. It's a fucking great mentality, especially in a sport like powerlifting, where it does demand a lot for something that takes a while to see the results. Like, it's not an immediate gratification sport. Like, you can go play rugby league, you can score a try, you can win within 80 minutes in a game. But unfortunately with powerlifting, it's, it could be a 12, a 16, a 20-week process. So instilling that into your clients is how much of that philosophy do you see overlap, not just in the way you coach, but also across the gym, obviously. And for those listening, Kahn, you are part owner, correct me if I'm wrong, of Zero Weakness Mackay.
Yeah, it's correct, man. So I think, just and the grit aspect doesn't have to be like, ripping into somebody and yelling and screaming at somebody as they're like doing their last set or whatever it may be. The grit aspect could simply be having a conversation with somebody and just being like, are you actually okay? And that aspect of them then understanding like and going through and being like, hey, I'm actually not, like, I've got this going on, and then trying to instill that person into trying to be that person that they were before they started feeling like this again. And I think once you go through that enough times, you get to the point where you start to actually identify these things before they happen. And as a coach, you're able to identify these better. As you guys know, with more experience you get, somebody walks in, body language a bit off, it's like, hey, like, what's going on? It could be as simple as like, too much rain on the weekend, it killed my fucking tomatoes. But like, it could be it could also be like, hey, like, this is what's going on, my mum's sick or something like that as well, on the opposite end. So I think for me, the grit thing is not so much like a presence of being trying to get people just to be this like hardcore aspect of lifting. The grit aspect for me is being able for people to understand and just face what they're going on, what's going on, and being able to just get through that. Jordan Peterson talks about like being able to unlock certain parts of your DNA by you look at all like the people that have made anything in the world, they've all just gone through these like massive cycles of like troubleshooting and failure. And through that, they like get a little bit better every time of being able to identify the things of troubleshooting and failure, but also being able to identify it when they're not quite right and getting help for that. And I think with any of that sort of stuff, that's probably where I try and instill that sort of grit into my members and clients, and also those that I train and am around as well.
Yep. Do you have you read the book called Grit by Angela Duckworth?
No, I haven't, man, but I've had it mentioned to me a couple of times. I have read Extreme Accountability by Jocko Williams.
Yeah, Extreme Ownership.
Yeah, Extreme Ownership. Yeah. So that's really good.
How did you find it? Did you see? I thought it was just a little bit too military for me, like just too that high energy demanding, hardcore, I guess is the best way. I couldn't relate to it. Like, I thought it was a really good book, don't get me wrong, but I just couldn't get that I think grit's I guess what's the better word for it? It's not toned down, but it's just the same sort of principles without that really strong, harsh mentality.
Yeah, I think like for me, like when I first read it, I couldn't relate to it. But then I like whenever I do, and I read these sort of things or talk to somebody, whatever, I try and like almost sit back and look at it from a point of reference where I can relate to it. So looking at on like for Jocko, he talks about like everything's your fault, the good, the bad, the ugly, everything you do in your life is absolutely your fault. And whilst like I've tried to adopt that as much as I can, like if I'm late to send something, that's my fault, put my hand up, like just admit fault. But or if you do something really well, like as a coach, like a client does well and you did a really good job, you think you did a much better job this time of programming or getting their cueing across better, the language you use, or just being there a little bit more as well. I think we use these things as like good and bad. Well, you could use them. But then for me, on a like more relatable scale of being your fault, I've took that on as more of a decisions process. So if you've got to be somewhere in half an hour and it takes you 20 minutes to get there, then you should be leaving, within that sort of half an hour window, so you have time in case, so you get there on time sort of thing. But if you leave at like 10 minutes to go and it takes you 20 minutes to get there, but you decide not to tell the person or any of that sort of stuff, like that's your fault. You should have, and it sounds simple with that, but you can take that over to anything. You can take that over to communicating with the coaches that work for you guys. Did you communicate this really well, and did you actually tell them like, hey, this is how, like, if you're not on the floor doing this. I would love for you to be able to do this and this and this as well, to be, you know, to fill in hours or minutes, whatever it may be. And then they don't do it, and then you decide that you're going to go and say, hey, like, what are you doing? Where it's like you didn't communicate that properly as a leader, and also as somebody this person should be looking up to, not being a boss but a leader to that person. That's your fault, man. Like, you got to call yourself out in your own shit too sometimes. So I think for me, that's how I took it. I tried to take it from that aspect, opposed to being like, you know, how Jocko is. Obviously with his like background and stuff, you can see why. But I think for us, like, I'm not going to war anytime soon, hopefully. So I'm not going to adopt that too much.
No, 100%, man. I think it's I like that way you kind of internalize that and then laid it over your own life. It's really
Personalized
cool.
it.
Yeah, personalize it. And it's just, that's just a really good self-aware. And you can talk, I don't even know how long we've been talking for, but you're a very self-aware dude.
Yeah, I think for me, like, I don't really like try and buy into the self-awareness too much, you know. As far as for me, I just think of it as like, it's going to help me be a better person, which means I'm able to help more people, which means I'm able to then be a better husband to my wife, and I'm able to be a better business partner to my you know, Thomas and Dean. I'm able to be a better coach and a better person to my members and clients of Zero Mackay, and then online and stuff as well. I think of it as like, if I become the person that I'm able to be, these sort of things, you know, and I talk a lot about like, that's who I'm trying to be for these people, but it's who I'm trying to be for myself. And that's just inherently part of the process.
Exactly. I think everything should always be a reflection of self and not for others.
For sure.
Now tell us a bit about your powerlifting journey, man. Like I'm very curious to go back to the beginning. And
did you start with the rugby league, bro?
Yeah, started the league, but then did you bench more than you squatted in your first comp?
Yeah, I did. So, long story short, with league, I basically was playing at a pretty good level. When I was younger, I went to a school called Kerwin, which is like a sporting X. Yeah, so I went there in grade 11, I think, after getting recruited from a previous school to come over and play footy for them. I did quite well. I just, once again, different person I am now, and just made some silly choices. And then that led to me moving to Mackay, actually. So I moved to Mackay, and then I was basically told I needed to have a good year here and be a good boy and stuff. So kind of did that. And yeah, basically, just long story short, didn't go too much too much further, and that was because of me. And then back to that, the sort of decision-making process, but then into the fun stuff and the general bants of the bench and the squat scenario. That's the boring stuff out of the way, but I was benching at Snap Fitness Mackay, and you guys know Dean Ilgath, yeah?
Yep.
Yeah.
He can
oh, he could.
Zing.
And he'll listen to that. I had to get it in. And so basically I was in there and I was like just training. Like, I just finished playing footy. I didn't really know what I wanted to do next. So I was like, I'll just get into the gym and start training and stuff. And yeah, he just like come up to me, and he was getting ready for Pro Raw, I think. And he come up to me, and this is in like 2015, and he was like, yeah, you should have you ever thought about doing some powerlifting and stuff? Because I knew him a little bit just from around and stuff. And he said, oh, have you ever thought about doing some powerlifting? And I was like, no, like, can you is there like comps in Mackay? Like, is there comps here? Like, I just thought of PTC because that's all I knew of, you know, at the time. And all I knew that of was that PTC. And for me, I thought PTC were the only people that ran comps. So when I spoke to him about it and I got on my phone, it was like 3 comps for the year or something left. And I was like, oh, well, like, I don't know, I want to do one right now. And I like came from footy. So we're like, I never really our back splits were to like boxes that were like high as, or we did front squats, deadlifts for trap bars. And that was basically like my extent to squat, and bench was always bench press. But that was my extent, you know. And it was like, he said, oh, there's actually a comp up in Townsville in 4 weeks' time with Powerlifting Australia, and you know, maybe that's something you could look at doing, and all this sort of stuff. And so he put me in touch with Gavin Heward, and Gav helped me, like, basically did the best that we could, I guess, to prep towards that, and just made it to like hit depth in a squat and all these sort of things. So I ended up benching, I think I squatted at that comp, how old was I? I was 20 years old, so I squatted I think I squatted 140.
Yep. In
I
reps.
benched.
Or-
No,
No, no.
oh, PA
yeah.
sleeves.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't have a belt or sleeves because I didn't know that was a thing. And so I just like rocked up in a soft suit that that Gav let me borrow.
Nice.
And I had no wrist wraps, so I had nothing. I was literally just like rocked up, and like everyone, I remember like everyone's like kitted out in the latest SBD,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, I'm not paying fucking $400 for that. Let's rock and roll, you know. And so I did that, and I was in the, I think I was in the 94s or something. So I squatted like 140, benched. No, I was in the 105s. Yeah, squatted 140, benched 147 and a half. And I think I deadlifted 225.
Nice.
Yeah, so I love deadlifts. Hey, they were awesome. I was like, I remember when I first started, I was like, deadlifts is the fucking jam, boys. I loved them, eh? And then, yeah, and then 3 months later, I competed at the Powerlifting Junior Nationals.
Yeah, nice.
I squatted 200. I benched one.
Fuck, 60 kilo gain.
Yeah, I think it was purely like it's just those noob games, eh? Like
Yeah.
never squatting before, learning how to squat, actually getting a belt,
Yep.
and
In depth.
and yeah, hitting depth and knee sleeves, like and like knee sleeves that do FA, but in the grand scheme of things, but I got a belt and learned how to squat properly. Actually, was squatting more than like warm up sets, one top set. Okay, I'm going to go do leg press now. Like I was actually doing squats as part of a program,
Yep.
and Gav prepped me into that. And then, yeah, I did that. So I squatted 200. I think I benched 155 and I deadlifted 240, 2.5.
Yeah.
And then from there, man, I did, just kind of, I left PA in 2017, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, 2017. And then took a year off. And then came into my first GPC comp in 2019.
Yep.
19 or 2018. And so I did my first comp there in the 110s, and I squatted I think I squatted 272 and a half. I benched.
There we go.
Yeah, I think I benched 170 maybe, and then deadlifted 270, and then my deadlift didn't move for like a year and a half. So that was cool.
Fuck. You mean you don't put 60 kilos on every time you go out for a training run?
Bro, that was me, eh? I was like, this powerlifting thing shit. Nah, I was like, I was just like, yeah. So yeah, pretty much. But I was like, yeah, cool, and started to obviously get a little bit better and stuff, and I've gone on since to continue to improve, and it's been good, man.
Yep.
Yeah, didn't you just take out our regionals?
Yeah, so I competed in the I think apart from Dave, I was like the lightest 125. Man, I've never eaten so much in my life, eh? It was so shit. So shit.
Bro.
Oh, bro, I was so over it, eh? Oh, look, I was like maybe 120.
Yep.
Yeah,
And what do you normally?
Man, I'm like sitting at the moment like I weighed myself this morning, it was 110.8.
Fuck.
Yeah,
that's a lot of food you had to eat.
Yeah, I was ripping in, eh? It was so shit. And I was like on the floor, like protein shake, like typical old school sort of bodybuilding shit. Like, yeah, just trying to get my my wife does all my nutrition and stuff, and it just got to the point towards the back end where I was just too busy, like with the gym and stuff. I just couldn't sit down and have a meal and stuff, man. So, which was. Yeah, we end up just doing like packet of Oreos and liter of milk every night, and that fixes it.
Yeah, it does.
Fuck.
Yeah,
that is a mission, though.
How did the stomach enjoy that experience? Did it hold up?
Oh no, terribly, bro. Terribly. She like refused to do it for the last 2 weeks because I'd just like be a monster, eh? I was just like eating everything. And like I'd have like one day where I wouldn't, I'd lose like a kilo easily. And it was
heartbreaking.
Oh, it was terrible. And I was like, I've got to squat today. That sucks. But yeah, pretty much, man. Like, yeah, so I walk around about 110, 112 usually.
Yeah.
I just didn't I competed in the 125s after COVID last year because Ryan and that were competing, and a few of those lads up there like Anna Bronson and Leroy and stuff, and I just wanted to compete with them. So I was like, oh fuck it, I'll do the 125s. And then I was going to get another comp in this year in the 110s to do 110s at regionals. But then I decided that oh, just do the 125s. Like, what's the point? Like, just do another comp for no reason. And that's how I was kind of seen it. And after talking to Thomas about getting a plan moving forward and stuff, we just decided it was just a better option. And yeah, that was a good comp, man. That was a really fun comp.
That was a fun comp of it.
Much more fun eating lots of food than eating little food to be able to train. That's for sure.
Yeah. I don't know what I'll do next year. Like, I might go back to the 110s, or I might do 125s. I'm not too sure yet. I'll kind of just see who's competing and stuff. And for me, it's I want to compete with competitive. Like, I want to be competitive. I want to compete where everyone is and stuff. And so I'll just see what everyone's doing and see what all the Brisbane lads and all that are doing next year, and kind of make a bit of a decision from there.
Yeah, that's the thing I was going to mention that I liked about you, bro. Well, one of the many things we like about you is the fact that you're looking for competition. You're not trying to hide from it. You just want to mix it with the best and just see where it falls. That's pretty cool attribute, because I think you do often see other people try and go the other direction, like, oh no, this guy's in this category, he's just going to win, so what's the point of being in it? Whereas, like, you're just chasing them, bro. That's unreal.
Yeah, for me, man, I'm like, I love competition. It's the thing that drives me more than like, it's right there with everything I do. I absolutely love competition. And for me, I chase it. I've always chased it. And it's something within powerlifting and stuff like that. And like, you chasing competition doesn't mean you have to talk shit about people. And I think a lot of people get like missed with that. Like, little fucking comments online and stuff. Like, I don't buy into any of that. I'm not about that. I'm like, I want to get to the comp. Like Kevy, for instance, I was like, I couldn't wait to compete with Kevy. And like, when we were talking through our prep and stuff, I was like, I really wanted him to do well. And that's the thing, anyone I compete against, I want him to do really well. Because for me, when I go up against people and stuff like that, the better you do is going to drive me more to beat you. So, and that's like as straight up as how it is. I want to beat you. Like, it's sometimes you do and sometimes you don't. Like, when I went up against Ryan Williams in Townsville, obviously I was never going to beat him. He totaled like 1,000 kilos. So, but for me, it was just about being there. What can I learn from that? How can I come back as a better competitor and a stronger competitor, and really try and shake it up when I get on the platform next.
Yeah, and that that just drives you for more kilos on the bar, right? Like, if you're fronting up against Ryan Williams, even though you're not going to beat him, like, you want to get as close to that total as possible. So every training session, you're probably putting in the extras or doing a bit more. Fucking on the day, you're fucking pushing a bit harder. He's pulling you with you essentially.
Oh yeah, that was awesome, man. And we like probably I'm 25 and he's in his early 40s and stuff. So he talks to me a fair bit about like just general stuff. And I was talking about when he's competing next year and stuff, and hopefully get a comp in together. And the guys like Ryan Mayfield, all those lads down there and stuff. So yeah, I just want to kind of I just want to see where everyone's going and compete there. And just kind of, it's not about recognition. It's none of that for me. It is literally, I just want to compete against where the gorillas are. And let's see where I'm at.
Are you fucking 25 years old?
Yeah, man.
Damn, man.
Fuck, you're young.
Damn, I remember 25. It was a long time
That
ago.
makes me feel old.
Yeah, you are. Right?
Hey, you must be feeling real old.
Real fucking old. Yeah.
Fuck, dude. Really? I thought you were my age.
Nah, man, I'm 25. Just probably enjoyed my life a bit too much, eh?
Nah.
Mate, you're literally only just out of the fucking juniors.
Yeah, so my man, it was like,
I thought you were just older because the sheer size of you.
Yeah. It's funny though, even when I was playing footy and stuff, man, I was like, I just come from parents were like Welsh and Swedish and stuff, so I come from I guess a bigger sort of background anyway. But as far as like with that sort of stuff, like, I've always loved training too. So I've been training, like, more so powerlifting specific, obviously in the last 6-7 years, kind of 6 years, 5.5. But I think for me, I love training, and probably just thanks mum and dad for the fucking big joints, boys. Let's go.
Yeah, thank you, mum and dad.
Yeah.
Was it a natural career to get into personal training / coaching, into gym ownership? Was that a path you were always thinking, or was it a bit like you were saying, after footy you're still a bit sort of lost in what to do? Did you fall into it, or what was it for you?
Basically I was drawing CAD and stuff like this, and for the footy club here in Mackay, like for one of the companies that sponsored the footy club. I think they're called Roadblock. And I was basically just like doing some of that sort of stuff. And I was at uni and I was doing I started off with like doing just a bachelor of like pharmacology, like Bachelor of Science. And then I went into like after about a year and a half, I ended up going into Bachelor of Health Science. And then so I did all that sort of stuff, and then ended up honestly just doing the diploma in health science after, because it was like the first 2 years of that course. And then after I did that, I started working with like a bit of a placement sort of setting with one of the physio companies in Mackay. And I ended up doing like my dry needling and all that sort of stuff, and basically I actually was training people. I did my not cert 3 and 4, so my ASCA, and I ended up doing like to start training people and stuff like that as part of it, and a service they started to offer. And then after about 8 months, 9 months, when I was about 19, 20, I was 20 years old, sorry, I decided to, when I just started powerlifting after I finished playing footy, to quit my job and go out on my own and do all that sort of stuff. And so that was good.
It's a big decision to make at 20 years old.
Yeah, it wasn't, and for me it wasn't like for me I just wanted to I just want everything. For me it was just like it was like my workplace was sick, you know, it was a good environment, I was learning a lot in these sort of things, but I just wanted to there was just something that said to me like, man, go do this by yourself. Just go and do it. And one day I woke up and I walked in and went up to the boss and I said, hey, I'm quitting. And I was casual, and he just went, all right, is there anything we can do to get you to stay? And I just said, man, it's nothing to do with you guys, it's me. And he was really good about it. His name was Dave, and he was really good about it, and he gave me some just some tips and stuff like that. And so I went out on my own and started doing all that sort of stuff. And along the way, I did like a diploma in nutrition, got on to do like the sports nutrition stuff. You know, kind of just tried to not so much, you know, like just broaden my horizons, man. You know, like I do FA nutrition now. I think I literally have like 3 nutrition clients, and that's just to help my wife out. And those people are like they're 3 powerlifters. Apart from that, I just do like the training aspect of the coaching and the technique assessments, and on floor I do not a whole lot anymore, but I oversee the coaching here in Mackay and with Victoria, Rebecca, and then whenever I need Dean to come in as well. So that's, I guess, my main job here now, and obviously the continuous development of what we're doing here in Mackay. And so I guess like everyone, I didn't necessarily start. I started like with the powerlifting stuff and started coaching powerlifters because I started powerlifting. So like everyone, I guess, like you start powerlifting, people will go, oh, I want to do that thing. And you're like, you know, I didn't actually start coaching powerlifters or any sports specific people or anything like that until about a year into the sport. And then I felt like I had a bit of a grasp on it because I felt like I was able to actually offer something as well. I had some people that were squat, benching, and deadlifting, of course, but nothing too specific to actually looking towards a competition or something. And then, after a year, I took my first team of 3 to Townsville, and then it's in 2016 or end of 2016. And since then, we've obviously just grown and had got some pretty good lifters and got people from all walks of life that are now powerlifting, and it's awesome, man.
That's pretty cool because, like, I imagine, like you said, if you had to go to Townsville to compete, there's obviously not a lot of powerlifting in Mackay back then. Would that be right?
There pretty much wasn't until kind of Dean and the snap kind of kicked things off, really. Yeah,
it was FA, man. Hey, there was like, I think we ran like 2 comps here a year, but even then, like, we had a mono. So we could only have like 12, 15 lifters actually do the comp because of the size, and we didn't have like a warm-up room and these sort of things. And then, you know, Snap was awesome at the time and helped us grow that sort of stuff too. But man, there would have been like 5 or 6 powerlifters, if that, in Mackay. You know, where now there's like probably just in Mackay, maybe about 100 people that powerlift in Mackay now. So like as far as like do it to be continuously trying to be competitive and back to back and, you know, looking for their next comp and stuff like that. We've got a lot of people that obviously do a comp and then maybe a year later they decide they would like to do another one or something like that. But yeah, it's good, man. We've got some really strong lifters in Mackay as well. We've got some good up and coming juniors, some crazy juniors coming through, which is going to be great. And then we've also got those people that are just coming in, never been shown how to squat before, and, you know, being able to squat as if they've been doing it for years. So it's a really good blend, man. And it's a very welcoming environment we try to offer.
Unreal.
There's definitely some
It's
strong, they're
fucking
breeding strong up there,
natural,
bro.
talented people. Wish I had some of that.
There's nothing else to do here, bro. There's either like footy, work at the mines, or own a gym and train. So I chose that one.
Just watching the photos and videos, it must have been a pretty proud moment for yourself moving from Snap, what you created there, into this new space of Zero. Like, it looks like an epic space, bro.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. We're 410 square meters of actual floor space, so that you can use. We've got 101 car parks, then side street access at the front. We got like this big, massive sign at the front, signage all through the gym now. We have 3 monoliths, 2 Alico combo racks, 3 AMFX dominated bench presses, about 22 pieces of machines. You've also got a 9 station, dumbbells from 1 to 10, 3 sets, kettlebells up to 64 from 4 kilos, calibrated dumbbells from 10 to 80 kilos. As far as like barbells go, I think we've got
everything.
Yeah, everything, man. Like there's close to 40 barbells in the gym, and they're either Alico or Texas. So yeah, it's close to 4,000 kilos of calibrated plates, from general commercial plates with like metal and techno gym, about 1,000, attachments as far as the eye can see. And we've also just also ordered another 5 pieces of machinery for our equipment. And then the Alico water that we just got in 4 weeks ago, we've got the exact same of that coming again. That should hopefully be here in January.
Amazing, dude.
Damn, that's gym flex, bro. If you don't have it, you don't have it, they don't need it, mate.
That's fucking amazing.
Yeah, it's good, man. It's anytime you guys are up here and stuff, obviously all our comps are in here now and stuff, so yeah, more than welcome to have some sessions and that. But yeah, it's awesome, man. It's a great space. It's very it's sick to walk into every day.
The communities up there, like, 'cause I've taken a couple of lifters up there before it was even Zero, back to the Snap, and like the community itself was great. And now that it's bigger, man, I'm dying to get back up and fucking get amongst it. I reckon it'd be absolutely unreal.
Oh man, our comps go off. Like we've always tried to pride ourselves on having good comps, like really well ranked comps. Out of towners get looked after as if they train at the gym, and this is back as if when we're at MPL, and now we're here at Zero. Man, it's excelled even more. Like we have a much better platform to be actually able to host competitions. Where it looks like it's a professional setup, like we don't move the gym around. Like you have 4 deadlift platforms and stuff to utilize while you're warming up. All we have to do is drag some machines back, put some chairs there, and off you go. Our last competition, we had 38 lifters, and we had at one stage over 100 spectators. So the atmosphere was just absolutely incredible, man. And it's next year we've got some really big plans, what we're doing with our competitions, and really try and make it a bit of a production. So it's going to be really exciting.
That's awesome, man. That's fucking sick. And I'm fucking keen to come back up and have a lift.
Yeah, hell yeah. I know our experience this year. Yeah, this
year. Oh yeah, you
was
went up this year. Yeah.
Same boat. It's on the list of comps that we want to get around next year for sure as well, bro. So
man.
Especially for it always adds another element of that travel, and you get to catch up with mates and friends. And fuck, I haven't seen Dean probably since the last pro roll. So
oh, for sure. And that's why I like traveling for comps. Yeah, regionals. Yeah. For me, man, like I love traveling for comps and stuff. I get to see people, and I get to catch up with all you guys whenever I come down to Brisbane and stuff, whether it's myself competing or clients. So yeah, I think that's definitely one of the things that I look forward to, and it's just a matter of picking that for next year now. So, but I'll wait until it all comes out.
Yep,
for sure, man. Absolutely, man. We're keen.
Find some 125s so you go head to head with, eh?
Yeah, I'm just keen forever. Wherever we go, boys, let's go.
No, nice lift comp in December, mate, if you're interested.
Oh, you know what's funny is I think I told you I was like keen to come and pull something and all this sort of stuff. And I was thinking about just going single ply or something because I'm not
Don't
like,
tease me like that.
Yeah.
oh man. I
Jumping.
really thought about it, but then just like I'm like, just when you're in those phases of training where it's just like I'm not exactly super strong right now, and if I wanted to do it, like it'd probably be like it's something I'd probably try and prep a little bit hard, like put a bit more effort into coming down and doing something really really cool. So I think next year I think maybe when's nationals in September, isn't it?
August, I think.
August, I think. GPC
Yeah,
is.
and end of August, maybe.
I feel like end of August.
I want to say the 22nd, but please don't quote me. And I know States just got announced April.
Oh, sick. Yeah, I've got like probably 10 lifters we'll be bringing down for that, so it'll be good. But then, yeah, so probably maybe after that, like look at trying to throw my hat in for one of those fun comps and just have a bit of fun with the lads, eh?
Fucking yeah.
I heard he's going to go.
I love the idea of you being in a single ply suit, mate. If you need any help greasing up and getting squished into that thing, mate, I can be your boy for that.
Man, the only time I would do it would literally be for like at that sort of like setting.
Mate, we got Thomas to do it.
Yeah,
I know.
That was multiplayer, eh?
Yeah, no, he was single ply then. Yeah.
He's still pissed.
He did that single ply comp. Yeah, he still talks about fucking his neck up in that comp.
He's still mad at us.
Yeah, well, that gave me like pre-warning, bro. I was like, oh, no, if I'm gonna do it, I'll prep, because he just like walked into it. I was like, no, I'll do it. Knowing me, yeah, I was like, I'll literally like, I'll go down. I'll be like, no, I'm just gonna do this, and then the crowd, like, me getting pumped, me getting excited, then peer pressure boys, and then I try and pull something stupid and I get hurt. I'm like,
bro, that was me last year. I trained that morning, said I wasn't gonna do it, didn't bring any of my gear, so I wouldn't do it. So then
whose soft suit did you wear? You wore one of your like clients, eh?
Female client soft suit.
Yeah. It's the only place, like, because I coach her husband, so I'm like, yeah, I know you. Can I borrow your soft suit? Didn't think it was gonna be that small, but it was what
slim fit.
That was fun, man. I had a lot of fun at that comp. That was cool. Yeah, no, I definitely want to. Yeah, I think for me, like, but like next year, put up, do a serious comp. Like, and as cliche as it sounds, I guess a serious comp. But look at a comp where I'll, really try and hammer the nail for, and then coming into end of the year, something like the Johnny B Bad Classic, baby, with the deadlifts and stuff.
That's a great name for it.
Bro, you heard it, boys and girls. It's here now. So if I get it next year, I'll be sending you an invoice.
Yeah, you'll see it trademarked and be like, "Fuck."
Yeah. You go to get the domain name, and I've already got it.
Yeah. But when you start planning and prepping, like for yourself, like talking about for next year, do you start thinking about some numbers that you'd like to hit? Is that how the process works for you, or you don't get caught up in that stuff too early on? You just wait and see where it all falls.
I just want to do better than what I did last comp.
Yep.
So for me, like, it's like I've definitely got, like, for me, I've got lifetime numbers. Like, I've got numbers that before I like retire, or not so much for powerlifting, but retire from trying to be competitive in powerlifting.
Yep.
I've got numbers that I want to be able to walk away with and say that I did.
Yep.
And that is a personal, like, endeavor thing. That is not so much for the competition stuff. That is more so something I would be walking away from and going, fuck yeah, like, I'm really proud of myself, what I was able to accomplish.
Yep.
But as far as like when a prep plans out and stuff like that, like I don't try and get too caught up in the numbers. Obviously, like every lifter, no matter how good you get at it, you're going to start thinking, especially when you start getting into some triples and stuff, you get a bit of an idea. You're like, oh, I just did like, 300 for a triple. That was pretty easy. Like maybe this is there. And, going off like your previous preps and what you've hit for, 2s, 3s, 4s, 5s, or whatever, and kind of like going, oh, is this going to, when I hit that, I was able to do this. And then you go to your next prep and maybe you hit that and you're like, oh, it's a massive volume PB, but then, towards the back end of your peak, it doesn't translate over properly and stuff, or whatever, for whatever reason, So for me, I just kind of, I just come into every session, aim to crush it, and then for me, aim to beat the program. So when I'm looking at the program, and when Thomas programs me, he's looking at my videos and stuff, and trying to put myself in a position where I'm physically beating the program. Like I need more, and that just comes from looking after yourself. You know, doing all the 1%ers, as well as just the big stuff too. You know. And then letting that sort of unfold, man. But yeah, I don't get too caught up in it. I think definitely when I started, I did. Fuck, all I could think about was that. But now, yeah, it's kind of like I'll just rock up, you know, and we'll see how we go. I really wanted to squat 350 at regionals, but because I fucked up my opener squat, Thomas didn't let me, which is the right move. It was 100% the right move. But yeah, it's yeah, little things like that. You know, you always go back on and you're like, coulda, shoulda, woulda, but you didn't. So just do it next time.
Yeah. Rather than too many people just sit there and pester on the fact they didn't get it and just let that consume them. It's just like, oh, well, move on. Let's go again.
Yeah, I literally walked off my opener squat, and I think it was 310.
Yep.
And I walked off, and before I went out there, Thomas said to me, he's like, "This is supposed to be easy. Slow it down."
Yep.
And I went, "Okay." And then I went out there, and I slowed it down on the way down, but on the way up, I just fucking exploded out and just let me do what I wanted to do.
Oops.
And stumbled backwards, and obviously got the reds for it.
Yeah.
And as soon as I get off, Thomas is like, "I told you to fucking slow it down." And I was like, "Yeah, I did." On the way down.
I got it half right, coach.
Yeah. So yeah, you know, like you just like for me, I literally laughed about it and then walked off. And before I went out, he was like, "No, for reals this time, like slow it down." So, you know,
down.
well, I did a little bit. I didn't like, you know, I gave 50-50 of what he wanted and what I wanted. So but yeah, so I think, you know, for me, man, I think it's also about having good people in your corner as well. You know, Dean's handled me at pretty much every competition I've ever competed in, apart from 2. You know, and like, you know, with Thomas obviously being my business partner, but also being my coach as well, for the last couple of years, you know, you just form relationships, you start to get trust with people. And, you know, us as coaches as well, obviously we have people that look after our training too, you know, and it's important to have that aspect of people in your corner, and but people in your corner to see you do well, not for them, for you. So yeah, I'm pretty fortunate. I've got some pretty kick-ass training buddies and some really good people on my side to make sure I don't get into that or down that route, you know.
Absolutely, man. I think it's the most important thing is having someone in your corner, and to phrase what you said, for the betterment of you, not them. That selfless act as a coach is the most vital part.
For sure. And sometimes that could be as simple as like, you know, they need their sleeves taken off at a competition because they're struggling and they've got to, you know, 2 squats left before they got to squat, you know, like sometimes that can be as simple as like, you know, in your own training session, like understanding you have to wrap knees, and that's fucking part of it. Like, yeah, just suck it up, buttercup. You got 2 options. You can either be a really good coach in that moment and also get a really good session in, or just change your session times. Like, it's as simple as that, man.
100%.
Like, don't, like, yeah, it's your fault. Like, just if you want to change it. Like for me, I wrap on the same day I squat and all that sort of stuff, but I do that because I love training with the people I'm training with. You know, I train with you know, like call them Kahn's Angels, Katrina, Linda, and Imogen, and I've been training with them. Like I squat every Saturday, and I've been doing that for the last 5 years. Nice. You know, I'd be sharing a bar with them when I was, you know, in my last prep, where I think my heaviest single in prep was 335, and I was training on the same bar that those girls were, and the heaviest they were training for the day was 100. Like I love training with the crew. I love training with everyone that's here and stuff. And if I've got to wrap some knees as part of it, then fucking so what?
It is. Yeah. How important for you is that crew aspect, that team sort of environment of being able to train for you?
Yeah, I think you know, for me, I don't rely on anyone while I'm training. You know, I don't rely on anyone to be there to push me to train. You know, I don't rely on any of that sort of stuff. But for me, you know, we've got close to 220 members here now, and I know every single person's name. I've trained with literally every member at some stage.
Cool.
Whether it's like we're like not necessarily like we've sent a message to catch up and train, but they'll be training at the same time I am, and just going over there and giving a spot while they're doing a dumbbell press or something, and them coming over doing the same for me or something like this, you know. And I think the comradeship that you get from any of that sort of stuff, and being able to express your values and being able to hear theirs and these sort of things whilst you train, and you learn a lot about people not only when you train but when you train with them as well. And I think you know, the no weak link sort of stuff, and that's obviously as part of that sort of, you know, zero weakness is obviously being able to be the best that you can as part of every single system, right? So I love to, on that Saturday session, we're all squatting together, man. 100% or 90% for a lifter, you know, whether they're just starting or at a super advanced lifter, 90% is still 90%. They're fucking giving their best crack, man. They've still got to hit that for a triple, whatever it may be, at 90%. Doesn't matter if you're squatting 280 or if you're squatting 40. If it's 90%, it's 90%. It's just as hard.
100%.
Yeah, 100% for that 90%.
Yeah.
Don't confuse me.
He's like 90%. Fuck.
Like if I do 90, how many apples do I have left?
Yeah.
We've gone down that rabbit hole.
Oh,
I used to hate them, like when they would rip into that sort of stuff, like Jenny took 13 and then Michael took 10. How many apples are left? And I'm like, well, you never told me how many were in the fucking first place. Like, what am I doing with this?
yeah.
Fucking oath.
And why can't I have one of those fucking apples? Because I'm hungry.
Yeah, I'm more of a banana man, you know what I mean? But I'll rock an apple. It's gonna be green, but don't like them red ladies.
You know what's really cool about this, Mr. Kahn?
What's that, sir?
Mate, we got 10 questions for you now. And the first question is actually really around this topic of apples. And it is for you. What would you rename an apple to? Given the opportunity, of course.
Oh. To be honest, I'd probably just name it to, I would call it hard orange.
Orange.
Yeah, and then people would have to be like, well, is that one like an orange is called soft oranges? And it's like, no, that's just an orange.
Yeah.
Fucking love that.
It would just fuck with people. They'd be like, so that's a hard orange. And they're like, yes, yeah, just the opposite, but it's not. It's just an orange.
Yeah, it's
And
a hard orange, but it's red.
Yeah, so where's the soft oranges? We don't stock soft oranges. We stock oranges and hard oranges.
Yes.
Easy win.
Mate, do you keep your chocolate in the fridge or the cupboard?
Cupboard, bro.
Really?
What?
100%, man. I hate like
it's hot up there, bro.
Yeah, but I hate any of that. Man, I love like hot, like room temperature chocolate. It's my it's the go-to.
That's strange, but that's all right. We've got our things.
Yeah.
What do you wish you could spend more time doing?
Shit, man. I wish I could probably spend more time. Like I'd love to travel more.
Yeah.
Like, and not just like, you know, we all travel for competitions and
Yeah.
work and these sort of things, but I'd love to one day like be able to just travel and just be able to take 2 weeks and just leave the phone and do that and just go somewhere that I've never been before, never heard of. That'd be cool.
Yeah, nice, bro.
Yeah.
What can you do today that you couldn't do 5 years ago?
Fill out a double XL t-shirt.
Yeah. Mate, there should only be X's and t-shirts, in my opinion.
Yeah, the other ones, unfortunately, adds extra small, extra large. Let's go.
Mate, what activity do you lose track of time doing?
Everything. Unfortunately.
Mate, you find a dead body in a hotel room. What are you doing with it?
Fuck. I'm walking out.
Yeah, nice.
Fucking out. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm out. See you later.
To fucking go.
Draw the line of dead bodies.
Mate, what's the most hated mode of transport? What is your most hated mode of transport?
Oh man, I fucking hate walking. Hey, it's the absolute, like, it sounds so bad. I walk a lot with my job, and then there's a coffee shop just around the corner. I walk in and all that sort of stuff. But like, I'm one of those people that will like drive. If I know I'm going into like a shopping center or something like that, where I know I'm going to have to do walk, like a decent amount. For some reason, I just have this thing in my head where I have to park as close as I can, because if I like, I'm going to have to do more walking, and it's silly when you say it like that. You're like, you fucking weirdo. But like literally that would be it, and that's only why. Apart from that, I only drive and catch planes, so I don't have too much to base it on.
What color is a mirror?
Sorry?
What color is a mirror?
Whatever you're wearing.
Oh, what superpower do you not want?
Oh, super speed.
Don't want that?
Nah, I reckon it'd be super annoying, eh? I reckon I'd overshoot all the time. Like, I'd be like, oh, I'm just going to work, and then I'm fucking in like Fortitude barbell, and I'm like, fuck. Sorry, boys. One sec.
Down here if you like. It's all
straight through your mono, bro. Fuck. Sorry, boys. Come back. Like, and then I'm in fucking like Charters Towers or something. But I reckon super speed, because I'm a fucking like all in person too. So I reckon I would just overshoot it to the max.
Mate, you scrunching that toilet paper up, or you folding it? And how many folds if you are folding?
I'm a scrunchy boy, eh?
You're a scrunchy boy.
Yeah, bro. I am a get out boy. If I got to fold, that's time, and I hate stuff like that. So I just scrunchy boys.
We've got no time for that.
No time.
I've got a follow-up question from the non-walking. Is your zero weakness car spot right at the front of the gym?
Well, let's say if it was, it shouldn't be, due to a certain thing being on there that says that it's for a certain type of population. But if it was, that's where it would be.
Sometimes you're there.
Sometimes I limp.
Yeah. It is what it is. Yeah. I'm not saying it's not, but it is.
I fucking love that.
It could be it, right?
Bro.
Yeah.
Before we wrap up, let's do the shout out. Where can people find you if they're traveling to Mackay? Where's the gym at?
Yeah, man. So we're just off the Bruce Highway behind McDonald's. Pretty sweet spot at 5K Court, North Mackay, 4740. You can find us on Instagram and Facebook. Instagram at @0_Mackay, on Facebook, which is Zero Mackay, and you can find myself on either platforms, or just Kahn Stephenson.
Yeah, mate, you're an absolute legend. Thank you so much for your time today. It's fucking love your coaching philosophy and what you try and instill in your lifters. That absolute grit is amazing.
You're a good.
Yeah. Thanks, lads. Thanks for having me on. Thanks for having me on, and obviously you guys are doing good things and stuff down there. So it's always a pleasure, lads.
Absolutely. We'll catch up for the next one.
Thanks, awesome, brother. Boys. Thanks, eh?
Have a good one, brother.